Could I please have a motion to adopt the agenda as amended? Councillor Clement, thank you. Seconded by Councillor Davenport. All those in favor? Anyone opposed? That's carried. We do have a delegation. We have Gwen Dose, Program Coordinator, Deb Tedford, Director of the Ashcroft and District Hospice Society, about a wind phone install.
On Tuesday, November 12th, be adopted as presented.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor Lambert. Any errors or omissions? All those in favor? None opposed? That's carried. Now we move on to discussion.
So for those that aren't in this room and know me, for those watching online, my name is Deborah Tedford. I'm the chair of the Ashcroft and District Hospice Project, and we really appreciate you listening to our presentation. This is a unique project, not that we are the only ones doing it. Nelson is in the process of completing their wind phone project. Merritt is in the process of completing, and Revelstoke is as well. But we are going to be the most local project if we are successful. And moving forward, we are also hoping that we can put up a wind phone in Spence's Bridge and Clinton and Cache Creek, as they are all part of our cache.
Set it up in his garden. He installed an obsolete rotary phone, not connected to wires or any earthly system. Here Ataru felt a continued connection to his cousin and found comfort and healing amid his grief. So that's sort of our plan for Ashcroft, is giving Ashcroft somewhere for people to come and just sit and just kind of reflect on their loved ones lost. So the proposed location for the Ashcroft wind phone, we feel like the cemetery on the far south end near the columbarium would be the best location. Kind of looking down towards the river, the Black Canyon direction. We needed, like, the most important things for us is accessibility and privacy, so people feel like they can use the wind phone without a lot of eyes on them when they're there. The proposed is quickly with the weather that we get here in Ashcroft. Approximate measurements. It's about 7 feet to the peak. Width is about 4 feet. The depth is 2 feet approximately. We might go a bit deeper. We're trying to keep it really simple, just for building and material. Grieve. You're welcome to find solace here. Please use it to connect with those you have lost, to feel the comfort of their memories. You may hear their voices in the wind. You may be at peace with your loss. Or may you be at peace with your loss. And we would like to, I guess, dedicate the bench to Jean Huba. Deb can probably talk more on Jean, because I haven't had the opportunity to work with Jean at all. Was it 1985 that we were started hospice in Ashcroft? Around there?
Around there. I'm really not completely sure. I know we've been over 35 years.
Okay. So Jean was instrumental in starting our hospice society, and her dedication to hospice care in our area is why our society exists today. So we would like to recognize her dedication to our community over the years, where she helped our residents in their greatest time of need. And maybe ask is that it's probably not in Heritage Park, only because Heritage Park is so busy, it gets used so much that it's not really a private space that people would feel that they could go and use it for the intended purpose. The wind phone structure will be designed, constructed, and maintained by the Hospice Society as approved by the village administration. And hospice will enter into a contract with the village to ensure clearly stated obligation for ongoing wind phone maintenance and repair. And that's what I've got. So if there's any questions.
Okay. Well, first of all, thank you very much, and thank you for all the hospital. Right.
That's very correct, yes. Just somewhere that somebody can just go and be comfortable. And, you know, maybe it's somebody who's passed away and it's their birthday. It would have been their birthday. And a family member, you know, you've got, say, grandma, you know, you're used to calling her on her birthday and she's not there anymore. So you can sit there and, you know, just in that time of grief, you can call. I mean,
we believe too that it is such a beautiful location in the current cemetery that it just is such a comfortable place. The view is lovely, and as society norms change, there are fewer people being married. And so what we traditionally would have done in years past, we would have gone to visit mom or grandma. Like you said, moment of reflection and memory, and so that's sort of our thought process.
And just, I use this example, sometimes you will see on the news, someone being interviewed on camera by a news crew. And some people are very uncomfortable just talking to someone standing beside a camera. It feels odd, it feels weird, they feel embarrassed or self-conscious. So I have quite often seen people being interviewed on television, in camera, and they're being asked questions and they're talking on their phone. Well, they're not actually talking on their phone. By talking into a phone, it feels more comfortable and natural for them than just talking to disembodied space, if you will. So, you know, just to your, why do we need something like this? You know, people, it's natural to talk on a phone. It's not necessarily natural to just stand there and talk into the
For our generations, yes. Younger people, not really.
They won't be able to use the rotary phone.
That's right, exactly, Jessica.
Okay, and Councillor Lambert, did you have a question?
I don't really have a question, I really like this idea. It's hard to grieve, and it would be nice to have a spot to go to. But yeah.
You have one.
Yeah.
After last week, I think I should probably ask a question. Don't swat me.
As if.
When Debbie stepped in with Jean's help about X number of years ago, when Joan Keeley, thank you, moved away, hospice was at the aspirate stage of collapse. So what happens with this program if we get back to that point? People move and things change, and then it's the obligation going to fall back on the community to carry on this program, look after that piece of public.
Who does look after it, and who continues to look after it if something does happen to the Ashcroft District Hospice Society. So that would be part of the discussion. You know, does it fall on the village? Good question. Proscribed what will happen to that as we go forward, if it needs to be repaired, if it gets damaged, if it needs to be removed, etc. We have all that written down in a contract, so all those details would be hammered out.
Yeah.
Any other questions about this or anything else on the agenda? No? All right. Now, you don't have to stay out of politeness. You can all leave if you want. We won't be offended.
There will be a mass exodus.
What's that?
There will be a mass
And that's
exodus.
fine. That's fine.
Thank you all for coming.
Thank you for coming. Thank you so much.
The public is staying.
The public
is staying.
Hospice Society's leaving. Good night, ladies.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you. And thank you.
All right, we move on to, we have no bylaws policies to look at. So we have staff report. 6.1 OCP and zoning bylaw update. Work plan and contract approval. Councillor Clements.
I'd like to move the council approve the OCP and zoning bylaw update work plan as presented and direct staff to proceed with signing the contract with Urban Systems to initiate this project.
Thank you. Second by Councillor
Kind of review what the process was in 2018 when the OCP and zoning were rewritten at that point in time and what our expectations were for this. And we gave some direction, and Urban Systems took it back, created the work plan. It's a little robust, but I think it will certainly engage with the public. I think they listened well to what we wanted, what we said, and it should be a fun project.
Yeah.
And again, it's when I initially got the little will keep us going for 5 years because this is now mandated every 5 years. We have to be looking at reviews.
So $157,000, and that will cover the cost of both the housing needs assessment and the OCP zoning bylaw.
Yeah, we won't actually spend the full, I think the cost projected for this is 114,000, yeah, so
Yeah.
we've got, that easily covers the housing needs assessment, which actually a delegation is coming next meeting to present to you.
Okay. Any other questions, comments? All right, on the motion, all those in favor?
Strategy to inform residents of the changes.
Okay, seconder, Councillor Dev, okay, seconder, Councillor Davenport, discussion. Councillor Landry.
I think this is a good idea, but for people, how do we word it? I personally, as a dog owner, I like coming in and doing it yearly because I'm wondering about people that aren't going to be around, like perhaps I might be moving. Do I want to pay $40 for 6 months? Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm wondering, would we be able to, or would it confuse things, to have both?
Think that the instances of people being A, in such dire hardship, and B, here for such a short period of time, that the $40 is going to prove to be a real, I don't know, how often is that going to happen?
I don't know. That's how I feel about this personally. I like the idea, but I don't know. I personally would rather pay my $10. It's not even $10, I don't think. And no, I don't know. I just don't like $40. I know it's forever, but I don't know if I would like to pay $40.
Councillor Clement?
So instead of paying $40 once, you want to pay $10 10 times because your dog is going to live 10 years?
Yeah, I would rather because then I know I'm still living here.
Oh, gosh.
120,
130. I think the 1 year we were under 100 until we started following up and we got bylaw officers. So then things he was on it quite a lot, right?
because, I mean, I know I've knocked on every door in this on multiple occasions. There are way more than 120 dogs in this town.
Absolutely.
So a lot of people way more than 120 dogs in this town.
Absolutely.
So a lot of people have for a lot of years.
It's easier for him to track and less onerous that way, and then he has opportunity because dog complaints are probably one of our biggest complaints that we get, whether it's, Fido is out at large, or he's barking too much, or they're walking Fido off lead.
Not everyone's on Facebook. Not everyone lives on Facebook. Not everyone's on Facebook. Not everyone lives on Facebook. And it did happen to me years ago. I was working at the Journal, and this dog showed up who was just running back and forth across 4th Street. I had no idea who it belonged to.
Yeah.
And it almost got hit by a car. So it was friendly. So I went out and got it. It had a license. So I was able to phone the village office and say, who does this belong to? And I took it back to its owner.
Yeah.
If it hadn't had if they hadn't had a dog license, I wouldn't have known.
I'm not arguing against dog licenses. My dog has a license. I'm not arguing against that. I think they're very important.
$25? Okay, so on the amendment, all those in favor? Opposed? All right, carried. So now we are back to the main motion, which is the recommendation, although now with the proposed fee of $25 per dog. The proposed fee of $25 per dog. And to be clear, you don't get a refund if your dog.
Perhaps why the owner doesn't have a license. And, as a license itself, being lifetime dog, perhaps it's kind of like people want to get something done, and they know they don't have to do it yearly. And as a business person, I know what that feels like, is that you have so many things you have to do yearly, and just knowing that you can just pay it and that's it. I think by discussing it in the general public. It's a new way of doing things and it might bring more people to the game is what I'm talking about, you know.
It's not monetary.
It's not
okay.
monetary.
It's fine.
So, Santa Parade street closure requests. So I will move that we agree to the request for a street closure on Railway Avenue for the Santa Parade on Friday, December 6th.
Second.
Okay, discussion.
Great.
All right, all those in favor? Anyone opposed? It's carried. All right.
Are there-
Awesome.
Oh, and I saw one
Yeah.
time, yeah.
Okay, I keep looking when I drive past, and I did have a very nice email from someone at BC Hydro with whom I've been in correspondence for almost my entire time in elected office, asking if we could get one. And he emailed me when he saw it in the BC Hydro bulletin, their in-house bulletin, and he said, "I'm sorry that I had to say no all those times, but I'm glad you finally got one." So it just goes to prove slow and steady might not win the race, but it gets you to the finish line. And new business, we have been invited by the Ashcroft Curling Club to go by on a Tuesday at 3:00 during their seniors curling to view the lounge, which has been renovated.
Oh, nice.
And so there's some new business. All right, we do have the Joint Paratransit Committee minutes. We have recommendation from the Paratransit Committee urging each council to send a letter to BC Transit expressing our concerns about the regionalization. So I will move that we send such a letter from the Village of Ashcroft.
Yeah, second.
Second by Councillor Lambert, thank you very much. Any discussion on this? All right, all those in favor? Anyone opposed? That's carried. Anyone have any council reports? Councillor Lambert.
I went to the seniors AGM on the 21st of November. So they have basically got the same, well, they have the same president and they have the same treasurer. The secretary is new and it's Patricia Russo. People as usual, so they're thinking of changing the date, but that's a year away, so. And they're thinking about having a Valentine's Day tea and bake sale. They're also wanting to put senior events on our sign at the bridge, so I mentioned to them to come and speak to Margaret about that. And then we're back to something that's been going on since I have started with council, and it's accessibility to the building. I did not, okay,
For the assessments for our buildings, so that we can start looking for funding to move forward.
okay. Would you mind coming to speak to them about this? Because this has been going on for years. And I truly didn't know what to say because I haven't been involved with the committee, the accessibility committee. So I really wasn't too sure what to say.
Sure, I'm happy to.
Okay, I will let you know. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. And that's about it. Oh, no, I'm fibbing. They're doing their Christmas lunch. Mayor, I'm sure you'll be getting an invitation, December 18th.
Yes. Anyone else have a comment?
Yeah, I just have one quick, I had our HAWK meeting, don't ask me what that,
Health and Wellness Coalition.
There we go, thank you. Meeting last week, and just a couple of updates that Interior Health, who were on the call.
Very good idea.
Awesome,
Very good idea.
awesome.
Well, I mean, that's part of what they've been trying to do for a long time, which is rather than have you attached to a specific doctor, like Dr. Smith.
Yeah.
What happens when Dr. Smith leaves after 3 years, which they always
Yeah,
do.
exactly.
And so the idea is to have people attached to a clinic or to a practice so that you are attached to the practice and you could be seeing any one of the doctors who are there, which is a much more sensible way of doing it, given
definitely.
the rotation, the
Yeah.
churn of doctors.
Just a comment, Your Worship, about the senior thing with the cooling, the
Oh,
ground.
the air
There's
conditioning.
logistical challenges with that because our panel is max capacity. So it's
Okay.
not a simple matter of, them getting
But that's the air conditioner, is that what you're speaking of? Sorry.
any more load, we're at max capacity.
So they can't get air
So,
conditioning?
well, the cost to upgrade a system to have higher capacity is a lot more than that. It's not a simple task.
I wonder, I don't think they know that.
They've
Oh, have
been
they?
told, I
Okay.
believe, but I wasn't privy to it, but I think Brian might have.
Okay, I will.
But there's there's a little wiggle room because we've got the existing swamp cooler that is no longer, and they have the window unit, right? So if they're only replacing the window unit, for instance, the load is probably fine, but if they're looking at
All right, well, we have no need to move into a closed meeting, so we are adjourned.